This is not your normal discussion where we talk about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered. This is not your normal discussion where we talk about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered.
The entirely live show. I hope that everybody's week has gone good. What did I do this week? I ate food and played The Sims. Yeah, that's my life. Played with my dog. Yeah. Anybody else want to talk about their week?
I mean, this week was a lot of stress, but today, like, since coming upstate, seeing my wife's family, attending my little nigga's graduation and everything like that, it's been good thus far out here. It's been good to get away.
It's been a good week, I can't lie. You know, this is not your normal discussion, so I'm going to let y'all know my birthday about to be coming up. So I'm just
happy early.
I had some early birthday sex, so I can't complain.
Huh?
Yeah, that's not your normal discussion. I'm not about to tell y'all who it was and all that. You know
Yeah, please don't. Don't put that on.
Got early birthday present and rap.
Oh, I got some consent. I got some consent. I did that. Too bad it's live. I can't go back.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kenny?
This week been alright for me. A little hectic time to time. I'm a little annoyed. Website's still down, but I'm halfway there. So I don't know how many patience I have left for this BS. But I already paid for my domain, so I have to stick with it. Other than that, I'm alright.
My dog is barking. Oh, my dog is barking.
As for me, I've been doing okay. This week was pretty good for me. The what do they call me? The voice of God here. Making green. Yeah, my week has been pretty good. Relatively got a lot of work done. I was able to make this live transition for the show at the last second, but I wanted it to be good because early on it was kind of stressful and things weren't going quite right. But much like our attitudes, we always put our heads together to be solution oriented about everything that we have in front of us, and this was one of our solutions. We decided to go live with it. So
shady boots.
No shade. Wait, what? No shade. No shade. Negative shade. There was nothing shady about what I said.
Okay.
Hey, for the collaboration.
All right, you guys. So today our topics are going to be the Brooklyn residents of Mercy House are upset that Jay-Z created a free financial literacy class for them. Can you be in a relationship and be sexually assaulted? I know you're not doing that, child. At what age is a good time for a child to start dating? And when should you talk about sex that is consensual and non-consensual? And we're also going to touch on the Supreme Court overturning Roe versus Wade. Excuse me, you guys. So gas and oil prices rising. Will Biden and Congress do anything about it? And what do you normally side with, your brain or your heart? All right, now a word from our sponsors.
All right. Commercial break one going up.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. A to Z Creations
is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
Whoops. Stop.
Hey. What? All right, so we're gonna talk through the dog today. Usually this gets edited out, y'all, but we're live. All right, so Jay-Z, our billionaire rapper, entrepreneur, Black man, he created a financial literacy class for the residents of Mercy House. Hey, whenever you're done. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, he said, what are you gonna do? You lie.
What you gonna do? You lie. We'll call Peter in a heartbeat.
Call Peter. She mean. Okay, she's mean. No, but in all seriousness, he created a financial literacy class for the residents of Mercy House to take for free and to learn how to, make money on their own and budget and all this and cryptocurrency. They're upset. They are upset at the fact that he has created a class instead of just giving them the money. Now, I'm wondering how their brains are working, because if you're going to a class that's going to teach you how to get money, how to save your money, and how to even invest in cryptocurrency, I think that's a little bit better than just being thrown maybe $1,000 or something. Like, he's trying to teach y'all how to multiply it the way that he did. And y'all are entitled ass niggas. I'm going to say it one more time. You're entitled ass niggers. Because he is not, he doesn't have to give you money. He doesn't even have to support Mercy House. And he's doing something for y'all that most places would charge you $1,000 to even get into their class.
And he's giving it to them for free?
Yes, it's free. Yeah.
I mean, I'm two ways about it, because I feel like it's we live in a really fast world, so everybody want to see the instant gratification. Nobody really wants to build into anything. That's part of it. Which whatever. But if you take the class and you learn from the class, I would think that the one thing I would take away from it is that if I put myself in a position to make money, then I can go to Jay-Z with a proposition versus just a handout.
Yeah.
Because I got my shit together and I took the literacy class to aid in that, because that makes effing sense.
I'm about to throw this popcorn at you.
Who, me?
Yes.
Why?
Because I wasn't finished.
Oh.
Look.
Voice got out.
Now I forgot. Go ahead.
No, you were saying that people, they were entitled, but they could be making the money, and they're not making any. Instead, they're getting upset because Jay-Z won't throw them bands, but he's throwing them bands in the long run. Because what's the point of giving somebody, if you like, what is it they say? If you give a poor person money, he'll spend it right way because he doesn't have any money. But if you give somebody who has money, they'll invest in it. Due to circumstances.
I gotta
But,
disagree.
Tryst, what you gotta say?
It's kind of double edged with that. Go ahead, Tryst.
I gotta disagree because, like, especially when they've done studies where, like, certain cities will give poor people money, just give them money, not make them jump through hoops. They actually save more than all the other mean-tested ways to try and make sure the money's going to the right people. And, like, there's a big thing about, especially mutual aid, when they say mutual aid is not charity, and that's because charity, and this is kind of what this is that Jay-Z's doing, is charity is just you coming in and deciding what's best for people and not actually talking to people in the community about how they would actually want to be served. And like, especially considering that Bitcoin recently had a humongous drop, like Bitcoin has lost about 70% of like its peak value, like very recently, especially with the drop, like with the collapse of a couple stable coins, like not even just regular shit coins, but like stable coins. And like the fucking value overall globally of crypto has gone from 3 trillion to about 850 billion just fucking recently.
That's still a lot.
It's still a lot, but when you're talking about 2/3 of the value, and now you want my forex investment, because with the whole
we're seeing all booty over there, sir.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a bunch of people who like, and I see why crypto was so popular because so many people got rich so fast. But a lot of those billionaires are now just 100 millionaires, and a lot of regular people, all of their money has been wiped out. Money that they took out mortgages, they took out cash loans, they took out massive credit card debt to invest in crypto, and they're wiped out.
That was their dumbass.
But you can't say they're dumb and then say the niggas who are skeptical of crypto are dumb.
No,
you can't have it both ways.
Let me say,
you gotta understand. You gotta understand, right? I do crypto, and I
love how both of them look at the same time.
I invest in crypto, right? Not saying all my money. I'm saying if I have money to waste, like say you go to the mall, you're like, yo, I want to buy something because I want to buy it. I just put it into invest. So over the time, I do mine a 6 month period. Whatever I invest, I may double the amount. I'm not gonna sell my crypto because of the market down. You never know, the market might come back.
That's gonna go right back up.
It's gonna go right back up.
It might come back.
I mean, a lot of
it will.
It's
done this before.
Yeah,
it happened.
It actually did a bigger dip before, and then went right back up.
But notice what you said. You said nobody said if you have money to waste.
No,
one of the old adages of investing in crypto.
No. I'm not saying money to waste. Listen, I'm not saying money to waste. If say that you have like $80, right? Just $80 for example, and you be like, I want to go to the mall. You know you're gonna bullshit around the mall. So you be like, you know what? Let me put 40 to crypto and 40 and we keep it in my pocket. So that 40 that you invest in crypto is gonna accumulate over time. Because I stake 3 types of crypto seed, and altogether, I mean within like 3 months, because every month I make a percentage of it. I made like what $50-$60. So whatever I put in, I made more than what I put in, than what I get back.
Yeah, so but at the same time,
I'm not gonna sell my investments because of crypto hit a dip. I'm gonna buy investments while it's dip, because when they go back up, I'm gonna have a lot of money staked. But I'm not thinking of short term. I'm thinking of long term. And anyway, if Jay-Z would have gave me 100 bands, 3 bands on top of bands, I'm gonna invest in crypto because I know the market is gonna end up coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think about the money I'm losing, because I'm gonna gain the money in the future. But right now, it's in plummet right now. But I'm not thinking about that the short term.
Let's talk about the question at hand though, because I want to hear Chris's opinion on the whole financial literacy class versus the money situation in New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a good thing you brought up the money situation, because let's not forget, like, we're gonna be talking about inflation later, but inflation is a real bitch out here. And when you're living in public housing, especially in New York City, the average New Yorker who's living in public housing is making below poverty wage. Like they're living on like $24,000 a year. And just like you could say, oh, well, it's a free class. It's like, all right, a free chance for you to lose money. It'd be one thing if Jay-Z said, look, I got a fund and each person's getting $1,000 to practice crypto as we fucking do this. I mean, they're already spending money on phones and even smartphones if people need them. So Jay-Z's a billionaire. If he wanted to, he could tax write off $1,000 per person if he wanted to. Invest that in crypto, and over the next, like, it's a 12-week course. So over the next 3 months, see how that money goes. Or fuck it, I'll pay your bills, I'll pay your rent, I'll pay your fucking shit. I'll write that off as taxes and everything, like as tax deductible and shit like that. And use your money that you're taking in, invest however much you want in crypto. Like, if you want people to jump in, especially if people are skeptical, that's how you fucking do it. But you can't come in and say,
want to learn about it.
But
that's the issue.
If you want,
we don't want to learn about no damn Bitcoin, is what somebody said.
Really, I can't be mad about that because Bitcoin has fallen and these niggas don't have the money to invest in that shit. So they're like, what the fuck you want me to do about that?
But they're acting as
giving us free
the only thing that he's going to be teaching.
This is how you want to help us financially?
He's not just teaching about Bitcoin, though. He's teaching about
it's
everything.
more than Bitcoin.
But that's the main thing it's marketed as. It's marketed as Bitcoin economy.
No.
Yeah, it's financial literacy, but also, especially during
but at the same time, it's still financial
you can't
literacy.
save your way out of poverty.
Listen, just think about it. You're getting lessons from someone who's been in your shoes, who made it. You're getting lessons for free from someone who's been in your shoes.
Let's not act like Jay-Z made that money going to the fucking stock market. Jay-Z made that money in a completely different lane.
It doesn't matter.
Jay-Z became rich off of what? His rap career, and then he invests his money
he stay
after
rich?
the fact.
There are a lot of artists out here
exactly.
who get rich and get notoriety, and they get fucked over by the industry or one reason or another, and spend their money. There we go.
Go ahead, Glenn.
But he was a part of fucking over some of those people in the industry. Remember when he took over Rockefeller?
Hold up. Glenn wants to say something.
This is what I got for you today.
Here we go.
These motherfuckers handouts. And I said motherfuckers because they're lazy. One, you can't tell this man how he's going to give it to you. Two, we need to get up off our ass and take these opportunities that people are giving to us. That's the problem with some of our people, is they'd rather go to a 7-Eleven and stand there like they don't got nothing to do than complain that they're homeless when someone is giving you an opportunity, a class for free that can get you out of your situation. Even if you
help you finance yourself, or help you manage your money while you're out there at the 7-Eleven.
But he's not helping them manage their money. He's giving them classes for Bitcoin, which right now would potentially
it's not just about Bitcoin.
They don't have.
You know what?
It's not just about Bitcoin.
The people that he's
let me say this though.
In California.
I would like to say something.
The people he's working with started a brick and mortar Bitcoin school in California. So that's the main thing that they're pushing. They can have other financial shit, but remember, this is still a 12-week course. It's not like some shit they're installing in marquee projects for like, oh, this is ongoing and shit like that. They want you to jump on. And especially if people don't jump on, especially if you saw the market recently just crash, the fucking thing you should do is pivot and market it in a better way. Say, okay, we noticed that like y'all aren't fucking accepting this, and if you're not gonna accept my help in this way, I can either just not help or ask you how you would like to be helped. If I come to you,
I'm pretty sure he's help. Okay, Nat. Anyway, look, my thing is this: his mama's still living. I believe his mom still lives in Mercy House. Does she not?
I don't know, but that's weird. She does.
Mercy House is an apartment complex.
That's where he's from. Yeah, it's the hood he's from. Marcy Project.
Mm-hmm. So, my thing is, I'm pretty sure he still has friends, family that live there. He knows what they need. And to be very honest, financial literacy should be taught in high school. Straight up, high school. There is no reason why we're turning 18 and a lot of people don't know how to do their taxes and have never filled out a tax form.
Some of them don't even know how to write in.
Yeah, that's what he should be teaching.
Don't know how to
navigate the tax system.
Don't, like.
My thinking is that while NFTs or whatever, Bitcoin can be the focus of it, and that's fine. When we talk about like IT or computer classes, we talk about everything dealing with computers. Our focus may be fixing like desktops and laptops, but we still are obligated to talk about printers, even if it's not the focus point. How to fix printers, how to fix other equipment in office space, how to answer certain questions, it's a knowledge base for knowledge sake. So you can't. It's not, even if there is a focus point on Bitcoin because you want people to jump into it because he understands that, hey, that's free money, or you just let it sit while you're doing nothing or whatever, or help you learn how to invest in your own money. Like I said, I at one point I may, if people don't know your struggle, like, or what you're going through. If you're one of those people out there and you're listening to this podcast and you have time to go out there and you're on the corner at the 7-Eleven in New York City, begging for change or whatever the case may be, to get your come up off of people because that's what you feel like you're going to do, at the very least, if you're doing something like a financial literacy class and you're not just flipping it to get fucking cigarettes, singles, or, that one more beer or whatever the fuck it is, whatever your hustle may be, I feel like financial literacy as a backbone behind whatever you're doing is important. It just is. Yeah. Whether you have a stable job or, back hustling, whatever. It's not, even if it is survival.
But it is important, but at the same time, like, we don't see anywhere where it's listed that these people are going to be taught how to do taxes. If we're assuming that, we don't see anywhere where these people are learning how to.
I know they know how to file taxes. I'm saying that.
I'm saying we don't know if that's a part of the 12-week course.
Should know.
But I'm talking about this Bitcoin Academy. We don't know. All we know is that two of the people that he's partnered with on this are big in Bitcoin back in LA. So that's the main focus. The person who is actually running the courses has a website called
Look, if it was
Bitcoin Billionaire.
Since you said that, my question
did you read the article?
Yeah, I'm about to say, is the program
I've read. You don't gotta be reading the articles and shit that we do.
Did you read the article?
No, I'm trying to figure out, is the place in is what he's talking, Tryst, what you're talking about the same, that because you brought up LA and the West Coast at least twice. Is this the same program that's in Morehouse? Because we're talking about specifically Morehouse. The people in LA aren't complaining about this. LA, that's different.
But I'm talking about the program that they're bringing specifically to this Brooklyn neighborhood. So the people they partner with for this Brooklyn neighborhood, they have things like, for example, the person who's running the course basically has a website called Black Bitcoin Billionaire. And the person that's also a part of this program has a crypto school out in LA. And as much as we talk about MLM and how much, going into MLM, it might sound like financial literacy, it might sound like financial freedom, but they will fucking jank your money. For all these people know.
But this isn't an MLM though.
MLM that's being shilled to them.
This is not an MLM.
Celebrities have been chilling NFTs, been chilling shit coins with crypto. Just because it's the name Jay-Z doesn't mean that these people can trust it.
I get it. You're like, just because it's a celebrity doesn't mean it's he could be selling poison to his own neighborhood. Basically,
hold up. Can I
but
say
it's
something?
Not, because I've invested in crypto. I invest in stocks and I invest in crypto. And that does keep me afloat. Let's be real.
That's good.
If we really want to go there.
That's good for you.
We gotta.
Because if anybody knows, it's me.
Whoa, we got a comment.
We got a comment that says education doesn't make people rich. I'm sorry, bro, but I gotta disagree with that, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
How many people have gone to college and not rich?
Can I say something?
That's the problem.
I just feel as though the people who are bitching and complaining and upset about Jay-Z doing this are lazy motherfuckers. People who don't want to get a fucking job.
Probably work their asses
Who
off.
live in low-income houses who don't want to get a fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, y'all getting shit for free and y'all complaining. The fuck is y'all complaining for?
Again.
Whoa.
You can't.
No.
You can't
See, this is the thing, though.
To take your
I
favor.
can understand where, like, this person is saying that, hey, education doesn't always mean rich. That is true. Because I could go to, no, I'm not talking about the financial literacy class. I'm talking about like college. I get it. I do. Education in general.
Yeah.
But this is something that's completely surrounding and going to be talking about how you're going to make money, how you're going to save it, how you're going to budget it, how to actually raise your credit score, because that is financial literacy.
There are plenty of people.
If they're teaching all that, but there's 12 weeks of these classes, we don't know if they're covering all that.
No,
for all we know, it could just
in the
be.
class.
What do you think that financial literacy
But I've been in
is?
a financial literacy class before.
Again, there's multiple types. Like, that's like saying, have you ever been in a history class? Doesn't mean you're going to learn all history in a history class.
Okay.
Jay-Z,
Well, if you're in a DC history class, you're learning DC history, right?
Class.
If we're in a financial literacy class, we're learning financial literacy. Like what you said.
Yeah, but no, we're in a specifically Bitcoin financial literacy class.
Let me ask you
We're primarily going to learn about Bitcoin.
Hey.
For people who can't afford to take that risk. And
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask a question? What the fuck everybody bitching complaining for about this man?
It's a free class.
It's a free what?
And people, and then y'all got the nerve to throw the flyers on the ground and step on them.
Yeah, people want to hang out.
I would be so hurt. I wouldn't want to do shit else for y'all.
All everybody want to do is get. People are takers. You just want to take, but you don't want to go to a class that's for free and you make money. Like, you're making money, you're learning for free.
You want the millions, but you don't want to learn how to get the millions.
Exactly.
You can't go to a person, ask them, how can I help you? Hear what their responses and then say, fuck it, I want to help you this way.
They need money.
That doesn't work like that.
They need money.
They don't want to learn shit.
Need money.
They don't want to learn how to make that money, because you can give somebody $1,000. You know what most likely
if you gave them tuition, I'm sure they want to learn.
And now that money is gone. So then, what else? You want them to get that money for one little time and then be like, oh, I paid my bills and now I'm broke again.
I bet you half of them people don't even know what interest is as well.
Okay. Hold on.
But that's what living in poverty is. You can't expect people who are in desperate need, especially during fucking first the pandemic, the recession during the pandemic, and inflation that could lead to another fucking recession and everything like that. You can't expect these people to want to take the risk of, ooh, I got a little extra money. I trust Jay-Z. I like his song. I like that he's married to Beyonce. I like his
So
children.
Night B has said, disagree how Howard University existed since 1860s, yet Black people stayed universally poor into the 21st century. Education doesn't make people rich.
No, I get that.
It doesn't. Education is important, but it's not going to make you rich, especially without connections
What I'm going to say
and people willing to invest in you.
Oh, shit. That's the one that we were replying to.
But nah, I think education does make you rich, and I'm going to tell you why I disagree on that.
Okay.
Because
I agree with you.
if you don't have it's like I said, we want handouts, but we don't want to learn how we got rich. All these people, when you talk about Jay-Z, like we talking about the big people that actually make money. F the music. The music is this amount of what actually has him rich. What has him rich is his mindset, his business mindset, knowing how to do
444.
Unless
he gave it to you before.
Unless it becomes natural to you, you have to learn how to do that. Education is the only way.
How many Jay-Z's out there?
Glenn, people who don't have making money and invest in themselves and their family, if they want to have a family, anything in the future, they're not going to want to listen. They're going to have an excuse on top of the excuse,
We can say excuses, but if we're not going to help these people, then we can't be mad that they are refusing these services.
So
Thank you.
Hold on. My thing
Thank
is
you,
that
much love,
I feel
Chubbs.
like
She
if it's
says, there you go.
if it's not meant for you,
Mhm.
right? If it's not meant for you, then fine. But there are plenty of people out here. I'm not even going to go the route of Kenny or Glenn who are lazy because I know that's the general audience. But there are people who work every day. I could be working 9 to 5 right now and see, hey, Jay-Z dropping a literacy class and be like, what the fuck, nigga? Drop me some money. I'm slaving away. I'm working hard as shit.
But at the same time, you're not entitled to these people's money.
No, I get that.
But he's offering us.
Oh, we're not talking about the government giving handouts. We're talking about Jay-Z giving.
What I'm going to say about that?
But he's giving a handout, and if
I'm sorry, Night B. I'm just going to reply to.
I agree with Leonard though. I agree with Leonard that if there's people who want to take it, they're going to take it. It's just the majority of people saying we don't fuck with it. So let the people who want to take it. And that's on them.
But don't throw the flies on the ground. Yeah. Don't sit there and be like, well, why can't you give us money?
They're not taking flyers. They're not money. They're marketing. They have enough money.
That's why they're in the predicament that they're in now.
They can afford to throw the flyers out.
They're going to stay where they at. They don't want to level up. They don't want to evolve. They don't want to level up. They want to stay where they at.
No, they want to be secure.
They want to be taken care of.
They want to make sure they're secure. They don't want to.
They don't want to
offer to them is a free phone. A free phone and a class that might not pay off for them.
Listen,
if you want someone to do the work of a program,
if you take what you're learning in the class and actually implement it, you will get something from it.
Who says they have time for that with however many jobs they might be working?
Get nothing from it. You cannot do it.
They may not have the time for.
Because you gotta do the work.
Let me tell you something.
Must Love Chubb 28 said, think of girlfriends. Both Joan and Lynn have degrees. Lynn has multiple degrees, but Lynn has no drive, no ambition, no job, and no money, while Joan is successful.
Where are these comments at?
Oh, it's on the Restream chat. That's from Twitch.
Okay.
Night B is from YouTube.
Okay.
But listen, I work. You say 9 to 5 when I'm Christmas. I work 40 plus hours a week. If I want to, I want to have a family. I want a house. I want to do all this. I want to level up. I'm not going to want to sit in the same job and like, oh, why Jay-Z won't give me money? I want to step my game up. Yo, what's your class? Free? Oh, all right, let me take this. The best? Oh, let me do that. You have to think like that. If you don't have that mindset, you're gonna stay where you at, and you're not.
Again, were you growing up in poverty though? Are you living in poverty? If you're putting yourself in their shoes,
look, maybe
if you're living in poverty, then they would do that same way.
No.
I know people that have lived in poverty and they got their ass up and they learned how to do stocks. They learn how to do crypto, and they're living their lives.
Hold
on. So we can't do the whole. I know people who are living, and they went ahead and got this shit together.
We're talking about people
because their mindset said, "I don't want to be."
The people that you're talking about.
No, but
you're talking about the few in between.
Yes.
When we talk about capitalism, when we talk about poverty, we're talking about the few who actually make it, while the rest don't.
Not you.
Some people make it.
I want to
a bunch of people don't.
You wanted an example, right?
For wanting to not take that risk.
You asked him, did he grow up in poverty? Did we grow up in poverty? No, I did not, sir. I didn't. But I know people that have.
Okay.
Night B said,
and there's always like Jay-Z's the one in a million who grew up in poverty and has stayed a billionaire, especially upon marrying his wife.
Can you not hear me? Tryst. Okay, so Night B said, nope. The average person makes less than $40K. No matter how smart you are, wages don't change for everybody. Capitalism.
Oh my Lord.
That's another thing too. No, it's a good point because literally scientists can predict based on where you're born, like your zip code. They can literally predict. Your zip code is literally the best predictor for your future income. And some people do escape that, but of course the majority don't. That's how capitalism works. You can't have everyone being rich in the capitalism. It requires most people to suffer for a few to be rich. And the market projects, they know that. They're not dumb. They're not stupid. They're not lazy. They're out here trying to survive. They're fucking desperate, and they don't want handouts that aren't
It's
actually going to be
excuse.
giving them
It's
anything.
excuse.
Let me
one
say this. Let me say this. There's two things. While I do agree with you, there's another side of this whole story which I want people to understand who are at odds with each other. One, for the people who are saying that it's bullshit and this, that, and the other, and no one wants to learn about Bitcoin. Fair enough. Pick something else. I also understand that. I know for me, there's always I take financial literacy or anything free or like the equivalent of like doing an internship, a free internship. If you're like me, right, you probably can't afford to do a free internship. It's idealistic for you to do a free internship so you can pick up the craft, but your current financial situation does not prevent you from doing that kind of internship. Now, I was blessed with an opportunity to do a paid internship. That was the investment for me to get and do what I wanted to do and learn IT. They paid for everything. I didn't pay for anything. I just had to put the work in and show an enthusiastic mentality to get, to want to make change and take the shit seriously. But for those who don't get that, right, who hide the internship into free, which means that you have to get there for free, you have to be able to provide transportation for yourself for free, all while you're probably going to school and or paying bills or whatever. You have to make the time and the effort to do this on your own for free.
Yeah.
For free. There is a sense of gatekeeping when it comes to those free opportunities that comes down to time.
Okay, so before we cut to commercial, Jasmine Simpkins says hi.
Hey, Jasmine.
Hello.
Hola.
All right, we have to go to commercial break real quick, y'all, and we will be back with our next topic. This was a great topic, y'all. Great conversation. All right.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
Clean.
Okay.
Go.
Zip, zop, zippity bop.
It's you.
I'm so sorry. I was.
He was just staring.
But my topic for today is But damn, can't help me out, Queen. Yo, I can't. My brain not thinking right now. Like I've been
It's
slipping.
okay. It's okay.
That birthday coup got him
He got that
mesmerized.
purple Nurple over there. That purple Nurple drink over there in his hand.
It was, can you be sexually assaulted in a relationship? That's the overall topic, but then it goes even deeper. I'm not going to show you the video, but I will quickly explain the video. But it goes deeper in a conversation with a video where a guy pretty much comes over a girl's house. She's ready to Netflix and chill, but let me say this in a respectful way, in her mindset, she's ready to actually chill and watch a movie. He's ready to get down. And he's like, oh, well, you don't want to do nothing. And his attitude was like, well, sure, if you don't want to do nothing, I just made a whole hour trip in the snow. I'm thinking we're going to get, well, I'm going to go.
He made an hour trip in the snow for you pussy?
Yeah,
Shit,
but some people
men do a lot of things for coochie, okay?
Right. So he's like, look, I'm going to go, and the opportunity that I was going to give you, I'm not going to do for you. Bye.
If you from the DC area or the DMV, I knew somebody, I'm not saying no names, no comments, but I knew somebody who walked from Hydesville to Akakeek for some coochie.
Oh, yeah. People do it. So
I know somebody who there was a crackhead, and she said she would suck him off for a fucking McMuffin, and he went to go get that bitch a McMuffin and wanted to invite me and another nigga to join, and we're just looking at him like, nigga, are you fucking serious? The fuck is wrong? So I don't know, niggas will do a lot for pussy. They don't make it right.
So listen, y'all. So,
okay, hold up. But back to the topic at hand, because we talk about sucking dick for egg McMuffins now. I don't know how we travel there.
That's a different kind of Englishman.
The whole story is at this point he was ready to go. Then she says, oh, well, no, you can stay. I'm going to do it. In this video, the lady is saying, well, this is a form of rape too. So it's how y'all feel about that. You know, me personally, to answer the first question directly, I do think you can be in a relationship and still be assaulted.
Yes.
No means no, regardless of the situation. I don't care if your knees deep already in it. No means no. No means stop. At the same time, that goes into the story, which to me, I do not call rape. And I think that's the problem. The girl, and people don't want to hear this and they don't want to talk about it because I know it's a sensitive topic. But it's not rape. The guy was ready to walk out the door. Now, because you was in your feelings and you realized at that point, oh man, this man ain't going to give me a ride, or this man ain't going to do what I needed him to do unless I give him sex. And then you decide, okay, well, let me fuck you now. Yes. Were you coerced? Yes. Is that the right? Yes.
Yeah, it's manipulation. It's coercion.
That's rapey.
It's rapey.
Like, quid pro quo.
No.
If this is to have, when you coerce and manipulate and say, I won't, okay, let's say, sexual coercion. So, thank you, Jasmine. So, the thing is this. Think about it. If a husband says, I want to have sex with you, and
like
she says no, and she says no, and then he's like, well, I won't give you money to get the groceries for our kids tomorrow. And then she has to, because even though she really don't want to, but she is going to do it because she knows that if she doesn't get this grocery money, her kids will not eat.
Yeah, it's a decision.
That's a dumb bitch. Because
no,
but
it's
still rapey though.
No, that's not
like,
dumb.
Most
if the wife is a stay-at-home mother and
like
she
these weird coercive
situations, has no income, and her it's also called financial abuse.
Okay. I can
with that part.
You're right on that.
That could be financial abuse as well. But I'm saying that it's a coercion in order to get them to. Tremaine, I'm gonna bust your ass. Talk about some who fault is that? Get a job.
No.
Exactly.
I agree.
Some men
Exactly.
You how you in a relationship and put yourself in that situation?
Wait.
Harassment.
Not everybody can work. First off, not everyone can work. Some people are disabled. Okay, so they can't, work that regular ass job.
No. You can work. There are multiple ways to work. You can work from home. You can design stuff.
But
you can make clothes.
Okay, but
you can
about
do
people
other
that
stuff.
can't
You
work
can be an
a whole
entrepreneur.
8 hours because they have kids in the background screaming and running
all I
through the
hear are
damn
excuses for a reason why they can't.
No, it's not an excuse. It's real life.
Exactly.
No, but I think here's
It's
where
real
my
life.
men come from. And I speak for my men with this, which we don't like. It's funny how y'all as women can say, okay, let me go be a stripper when I need to make a little extra money. But the minute that the sex is bad on something that you feel like you had to do for yourself, is rape. We're so quick to call rape.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You could have paid her. You could have asked her.
Wait, hold on, y'all.
Whoa.
Must Love Chubbs 28 says, I feel like under those circumstances, it is technically consensual, but more so intimidates the person. Hold on. Into giving in, which is not rape, but is manipulative and still perverted.
It is.
Yes,
but if you're intimidating someone, then that is rape. Think about it.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. It's coercion.
If it's full intimidation, then it is.
Like you said, it's
you don't always have to use
manipulative and it is coercion.
Yes, but that's not rape.
Oh my gosh.
It can be. It can be defined. Think about the reason why it isn't normally defined that way.
Wait a minute.
Remember a few months ago we talked about a similar situation about.
Wait a minute.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me, right? The man go over there, get some ass. The girl said, "Nah, we just chilling."
It's actually a crime, y'all.
Yeah.
Just looked it up.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a crime to coerce somebody into having sex.
Wait a minute, but don't you got a mind of your own?
Crime.
Hold on.
A mind of your own.
Hold on.
I will choose the thing that will hurt me, or the thing that's going to actually let me survive this.
So
there's more than just fight or flight, you know.
What about the incident with that we talked about a few months ago or weeks ago with the guy who sent the girl came over for Netflix and chill? Remember? She came over to Netflix and chill, and he was like, what?
And she left.
And he sent her home on an Uber. Yeah. She thought that she was just going to chill. He's like, shit, you're not gonna come over my house at this hour and just and not smash. Nah,
it is a crime.
That's rape culture. It's the same thing. It's rape culture.
He was in the right. He even sent her home in an Uber. He paid for the Uber and everything.
Hold on. I can't hear Queen. What you said?
Hold on. Let me read the comments real quick for y'all. So I have from, I can't go down. So from there you go. Okay, so Jasmine Simpkins says a form of sexual harassment, which is a sexual coercion. Night B says, so is relationships and marriage. It manipulates men to do stuff for the women. Do you have a problem with that too? What are you talking about, sir? I would like for you to explain that one. Jasmine Simpkins says sexual harassment is illegal. Must Love Chubbs 28 says it can be if you tell a child have sex with me or I'll kill your parents, and they say yes. So if that went to court, they would be charged with rape.
Hold up, can I say something?
And Night B said no, it's not.
Can I say something?
I don't think he was replying to me.
So I'm home and it's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And some girl hit me up and said, the Netflix show come over. Why the fuck are you calling me, texting me after hours? You know I want some cheeks. Why you coming over for? You know what I'm saying?
Because y'all should be able to have self-damn control.
No. Listen.
No.
If you go to Netflix and chill.
Wait. That's the entitlement that you guys have to think that just because a woman is...
No. But why? We
are grown adults.
After
we are grown adults. We should be able to communicate.
I was just about to say that, Tryst. No.
Let's do that.
What I have to say as a woman, can you at least hear it from a woman? All right. All I'm saying is a lot of times, just y'all feel like just because we come over y'all house, it could either be in the daytime or at night, that you guys are entitled to our bodies, and you're not. You're not.
I never said that. I said, why are you coming
Okay,
to my
but
house
you're
after
saying,
midnight?
but from what you're
That's
saying,
smashing
if
hours,
a
though.
girl called me at 10 o'clock, you just 2
No, I
o'clock or
didn't say
whatever.
10 o'clock. I said 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. That's booty
Okay,
call
it doesn't
hours.
matter.
You know, like
It could
booty
be
call hours.
6 o'clock in the morning. She
That's
called you.
booty call
But
culture.
if she's saying that,
She stayed
hey,
home.
I don't want to have
Listen,
sex,
this-
that is her right.
No,
That's
I
fine.
never
Okay,
said
okay,
don't
okay.
have sex.
So
I
then my
said you
question-
want
But if you're okay, but you can't always expect to
Okay,
be.
so
I
let's say
love
we
to
commit-
cheat.
why-
I'm
No,
supposed to
I
get
agree.
So
cheat
why
at this time of day.
at that time
Like, that's what
anyway?
y'all are saying.
Let's go with I'm gonna go with Pedii, and I'm gonna go with what Tryst said. So let's assume we're adults and we can talk about this to the exchange before you come over, right? So that means that if you call me at a certain time, I'm not just going to expect it. I'm going to verbally say what I'm thinking we finna get into. Now you say yes or no in that moment, cool. But if we had that conversation beforehand, right? Is that still considered? What do you call it? Sexual harassment or corrosion? What do you say? Erosion? What is it?
Or coercion.
Coercion. Is that considered
But
coercion?
here's
Even
the
if we
thing.
talk about it beforehand, is it because it makes it conditional? Is that what makes it so that it's
Yeah. Yes.
Here's the thing too, though.
Sex with conditions. Unless you've
That
already
and-
made a contract. See, this is why people need to communicate. If you didn't communicate that, hey, I'm about to let you have the coochie, then why are you expecting just because you went over that person's house to get the coochie?
Oh, I know.
Wait, what if you went over there? Okay, so what if she comes over there, right? And she changes her mind.
Okay. Then she changed her mind. You can't keep pressing her for sex.
No,
then
no,
harassment.
that's not what I meant. No, I'm not trying to press her for anything. But like, it's like, when is it? So in
basically,
that instance,
remember how we said you could be inside her and she says
I got
stop or
that.
no,
I got that. I already remember that.
It's the same concept. Just you haven't answered her yet.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm like so about this one. Listen, I literally went on a date before and he ended up picking me up late. Okay. So we went to his house. I am not trying to have sex with this man, but he just keeps pressing and pressing. I didn't have sex with him, but you know what he did do? He got pissed off at me. And then he drove home, but he drove fast as shit. Do you understand how scary that is? Because when you're alone and you have to be like, okay, what do I do? You have to make the decision to not get your ass killed because some nigga can't take a rejection when you already said no.
Now, as much as I
do
want
y'all
to
understand,
as much as I want to pay sympathy for that, which I do, the other side of that, right, is that the woman's side, while we may not die in that instance, the other side of that is that we could end up with the rest of our lives ruined and still have to live with it unless we decide to kill ourselves.
We were supposed to be looking at movies, Night B. That's what we were supposed to be doing. Nothing else. That's it. Because that was my first time going out with him and the last.
But I think what the voice of God is saying too is
no. I'm sorry. No, I was replying to a comment.
Night B said, "Why come over if you're not planning to give the cheeks?" What you agree on?
I agreed on watching the damn movie.
Yeah, there was no
like if I don't have a conversation with you about having sex at home.
Oh, yo, I literally just said the same thing. They have a movie.
Yeah. Muslim Chubb said, I do know when a man is expecting sex. I choose not to go. But when dating, a lot of men have this odd tendency of acting like they're only available at night. That too has happened to me, Queen. Fortunately, they understood. Yeah, it took me a few times to get him to understand. And he was really, really mad and was like, you're acting like if you had sex with me on the first night, that I wouldn't want you as a girlfriend. Like, sir, I don't know you, don't know what your penis is like. It was not Netflix and chill. Like, I'm just, hold on, Glenn, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm just saying that it's not cool when you don't have that communication. As grown ass people, we can have a communication and say, hey, The reason I'm going to bring you to my house is because I would like to have sex with you, and I can politely decline, honey. Okay?
Yeah.
Give me that option.
Let's say at the end of the day, you want enthusiastic consent from these women. You want a woman who wants to fuck you. At the end of the day, if you got to fucking finesse this bitch, convince this bitch, trick this bitch, make this bitch run through a maze, and then oops, there's your dick at the end of it. If you gotta do all that, then more than likely you might get your life ruined, or she might just have to more than likely. Because think about it, cops aren't really out here putting niggas away for life for a lot of these things. Especially, they're not investigating a lot of these things unless there's some brutality or some shit like that. They don't give a fuck to investigate things that look like it could have been a Netflix and chill gone wrong. So you're likely not gonna go to jail. You're just gonna have people who's speaking on your shit, and they're gonna speak on your shit, and you should learn from that shit, if anything, to not do that type of shit again. Because
I'm here for
you want to move to your wife that way. Everyone you're hooking up with is someone you gotta trick into the bedroom, or someone who wants to be on your dick.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So, what you got?
Go ahead. Oh yeah, go ahead, John.
This frustrates me because I've been in a lot of compromising positions myself over this topic. And my thing that frustrates me about people is not a man or woman thing. On one note, you don't want us to be 100% real. Because if I was 100% real, and we've talked about it before between amongst of us, it's the issue. If I come out and I say 100% real, hey, I want to
never went to them.
Huh?
That's how you say it.
Right. No,
what makes it different from any other nigga who wants to fuck?
Listen, because
I know you're going.
It's a straight fact. You can't be 100% real with some people. That is why there's certain times and there's certain things that other adults should say this straight up. And if you got a different mindset, then you should speak up and say, hey, I know it's 12 o'clock at night, but I honestly just want to relax. And if you say that with me, then okay, cool. But if you don't say that as an adult, I'm thinking, okay, if I'm coming over your house at 12 something at night, then yeah, in my mind, if I'm already thinking I'm trying to get some, excuse me, that's where I'm going to be.
I was going to say
that's where communication come from.
And he's hoping that
communication. But then also the idea of this coerce thing is not such a black and white. Coercion is not black and white. You would not win a court in this particular situation.
Yes, you can. I'm telling you right now that you can.
That's why.
Yes, you see the law, but just like any law, you have to prove it.
You have to prove
it.
Exactly, but that's why.
Look, I'm the only woman on this panel tonight, and I'm letting you know right now.
He said I would leave. He said he would leave. That's what I'm saying. So if you went to court,
it's still court.
No.
Hey,
and that's where
Bill Cosby won a bunch of his cases. R. Kelly won his first cases. Just because he won them shits didn't mean that the fucking shit didn't happen. It just means that we have a culture, a rape culture, that overlooks what women are going through for the benefit of men, because men understand, I wouldn't want to be caught in that situation for doing something similar.
Even if you were to, hold on, real quick. Even if you were to, in that guy's position, where he going over somebody's house and expecting something and not getting that thing, if your intention was to do that, she initially said, cause I'm gonna go with the first thing you said. I don't give a fuck. If you say no, I'm gonna stick with no. You can't change your mind on me on that. If I'm not feeling to be there because I want to sleep in my own damn bed, then I'm gonna sleep in my own damn bed and that's fine. And I'm gonna leave. No. I changed my mind. You can no. This was the condition for me that time for me to come over here, and you didn't want to do it, and I'm cool with that. Now I learned that I should have said something beforehand, because apparently I had to learn that just because a situation happens, because they had to learn, it's a learning situation. They had to learn that, hey, just because this particular situation happened, doesn't mean I'm going to get it. But the other side of that, right, is the game part I don't like that men and women play. The side, because women, if y'all hear me, y'all know what I'm talking about. Because I've heard so many stories about this shit. Men, y'all niggas know what it is, what time it is too. Where y'all play the game of not saying this shit, but both knowing shit, but play the game of, oh, I'm not going to give it up, or they gonna have to work for it, or they got, or I know what he want, but I'm not gonna give it to him. But won't say this shit then. Say that shit to him then. You know why the fuck he coming over there? You know why she coming over there? If you know that you have to get the fuck to work in the morning, men, and don't want to bullshit around, men, you know you got shit to do, men, and you don't want to fucking have sex because sometimes we don't want to have sex, men, and you have a partner who is very sexually active and who wants to be around you all the time for whatever reason, men, y'all need to say that shit. Not oh, she gonna want to do this and placate to her anger or emotion or whatever. You're a fucking person. She's a fucking person. Y'all both need to address the shit in advance so that it's out in the open, so that no one's guessing what people want. That's not conditional. It's even if it is conditional, you know before you
that's
get
not
there.
what we talking about.
But we also gotta remember, like,
Nike said studies show that many women will lead men on to get free meals. Y'all don't call that out. First off, that's not what we talking about. We talking about sexual assault. We're not talking about free meals.
Stop buying these bitches.
We're talking about being in a relationship.
I get that. What are you talking about?
Whatever shit.
And
listen, if you feel like you keep getting finessed, maybe you should change up your strategy. And at the end of the day, remember,
I'm confused. Are we talking about like the way you holler at a man is to give him a meal at the bar or something? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. What is this?
No, he's saying that we lead men on to get free meals.
We lead men on to get
women.
Yeah.
And I will say I know some people that have done it.
I'm about to say I know on both sides. On both sides, I know. I know. And it may not be food. It could be, let's just say, material. It could be sex. It could be a ride. It could be. We know some. Me and you know somebody. I'm about to say. Me and you know somebody without saying no names, right? Without saying no names or anybody who. In fact, prior to knowing you, I know somebody who their whole mentality is just to be a user. You know, they manipulate a situation. You know, like I said, I won't call no names, but like people that bought this man bought him a car. While having their own car, and he still did what he did, cheated on her and everything. Like, just to get what he got out of the situation, whatever it was. So, and vice versa. No one's safe here. I'm calling out everybody. If you got a problem with it, say what you gotta say. Because the reality is that a lot of men and women put themselves in this game. They think this shit's a game until it's not. They think it's a game until it's considered rape culture or coercion.
But
like coercion, sexual.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, though. Like,
so this is
the difference between a bitch finesse me at a meal and you finesse a bitch out of some pussy, and like now she's been assaulted. Like, so it's very important that we understand. Like, yes, there is a game. There is trying to be charming. There is trying to make someone interested in you enough to want to take it to that level with you. But at the end of the day, this is all a back and forth. And if the energies don't align, you can't be mad that the person dips it. This is why it's on you. Talk to how many people you want to talk to. Find the best fit for you. You don't need to go chase one particular bitch to the end of the world. Yep. Buy her all the meals. Buy her all the gifts. Buy her all the flowers. Like, at some point, stop yourself and ask, is what you're doing actually working? And just remember, at the end of the day, it's easier to get pussy when you're not pressed for pussy.
I'm going to say, men and women, make sure you get not backwards compatible consent when you're asking for sex. And and make sure your first answer is the real answer on both sides. That's because it's really hard. It's not fair to call it coercion if your first answer was yes and you didn't want it. That's not fair to either party. Because then down the line you say some shit later. I really didn't want to do it, or that shit was trash. Regardless, that's not fair. It shouldn't be considered.
Saying that the sex was trash that's not rape. No.
Well, yeah, like the sex was trash.
But it can be considered coercion, right? You can argue that I didn't even want to. When I saw it, you could say when I saw her vagina.
So you telling me bad sex is rape
when I
now?
Saw her, look, you can say when I saw her coochie or when I saw his dick. In that moment, I didn't want to have sex no more.
That's real. But some people feel like
but they
whether
still went through it,
religion and they
then for them to
marry the
say,
person.
and then for them
And
to
then they
say
want to
later,
switch it and say I feel gross.
right? Yeah, like that's fucked
But
up.
that's
my
real
That's
shit.
fucked
That
up.
happens.
We got super comments, y'all.
They tell you. It's trash.
Must love
That's real.
said, no, if he dropped them pants and a Popeye shrimp dinner falls out, I'm changing my mind. We're not getting that far, LOL.
Right? No, I get that. I get that. That's fine.
Wait.
But don't go through with it, right? Don't go through with it after you see the popcorn
Yeah.
shrimp.
She's saying
then,
she's gonna be like, no.
Yeah, and then be like, I didn't even want to have sex with your little shrimp dick ass.
Wait.
Some women.
No, hold on. Jasmine Simpkins says, I will make a bitch work hard as fuck for a meal with me. They wouldn't be wasting my money. And Night B says, so let me ask you this. Since you're tired of the games, would you be okay with a man outright saying he wants sex? I am okay with that because now I know where your mindset is with me. Yes.
Oh, but you told me that I was asking too soon.
With that particular
And
person.
then I can
that works with
politely
her.
decline.
Yeah, that works
Now
with her.
I know where your mind is. I'm okay.
You can't go saying, oh,
You can't just walk up to a motherfucker and be like, hey, yo, you look pretty as fuck, girl. You want to have sex?
No.
Come on, man.
Listen. What he's saying is if I'm having a conversation and they're like, hey, I would like for you to come over so that we could do so and so and so. I can now I know what you're thinking and I can politely say yes or no. Mm-hmm. And we can keep it moving. If you want to keep it moving and keep, talking, fine.
I know.
But
yeah.
If I say no, don't be like, oh, why you don't want to come over here, and being all upset and stuff. Just understand that I do not want to go that far with you right now. Right. And that's it.
Yeah. And your job as a guy is to see if you still want to mess with that, and if so, make her feel comfortable. Like sex, body language, all this shit is about reading each other and giving each other signals that, hey, you can feel safe being comfortable with me, and then not taking advantage of that.
So Glenn needs to do. Next time, Glenn, you make this approach, right? You need to make sure you have your medical records with you so they can feel it.
Give them them test results, honey. Give them them test results.
You gotta look.
All I'm gonna say is obviously I can get some because I just got some.
That ain't the point. I'm saying if we're gonna shoot from the hip, we want to, and we already know that kind of straightforward answer or question will almost always be met with skepticism unless you're like young and dumb. Typically.
No, unless you meet somebody that's just like you.
That too.
Right. And that's cool. It is women here. It's just like, okay, I'm looking for that too.
Right. If you're gonna shoot from the hip like that, you might as well do it.
But when the woman is looking for something else, then you coming up to them and being like, oh, well, sex.
But if he was
gone straight up to a woman and that's what I'm coming with.
No, I didn't say like your first conversation. I'm just saying like you go to her and you be like sex.
If you pull out your medical form, is that persuasive? Does that mean if he pulled out his medical form, is that persuasive? Is that also a form of coercion? I'm just trying to figure out.
No, because you're expecting a lot of sex. And here's my paperwork.
I'm just trying to figure out the lines, yo.
Are you ready to go right now?
Right.
Hold on. Comments. We have comments. So Must Love Chubb says, I had a friend with benefits for years. Just because he was straight up, men would be surprised how far honesty will get them. Yes.
I agree.
Night B says, honesty is important. LOL. Most women will get offended and say no. Why do you think men have to play the game in the first place to get the cheeks? Sir, you married. Go get your...
Exactly. But no, what he's saying is exact the truth.
I can speak on it simply because I've seen it.
The benefit of the game, it's how you do it, basically, at the end of the day. For example, if you are talking about your past partners and past sexual experiences, you're now in a sexual zone.
Hold on.
And as long as you're too much,
wait, hold on, y'all. Must Love Chubbs also said, nope, there are way more women out there focused on something, not looking for anything seriously. you have to find the person in the same headspace instead of trying to finesse women. And Night B said, "No, you are. You're not. You're not, sir."
Talking about me?
Oh, no, not you. I'm talking. I'm talking to Night B because I know who this is.
I know you know who it is.
Yeah, sir. Okay, so let's go to our commercial break, y'all.
Every minute.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
So before we get to the next topic, I gotta read the comments because I ain't realized, and now it's funny. So, Night B said, "I am married, but the game is real out here. Most men have to get them cheeks through the game." And Jasmine Simpkins says, "Who cheek you after?"
Somebody playing Pac-Man.
Too.
Probably hers, ain't that?
It better be. It better be hers, honey. Thank you guys for coming through. But so our next topic
Yo, y'all wild as shit.
This makes for a good live show.
Look, they probably in the same room dying laughing, child. But our next topic is, how old do you think is the right time to date for your child? Or do you think your child should date? And I'm sorry, y'all, because this technically was not my topic. Oh, at what age is a good time for a child to start dating? And when should you talk about sex that is consensual and non-consensual? So I'm going to say around 12 or 13 is actually a good age for kids to start dating. I think that they should be chaperoned because they are still children. And to make sure, you know, they ain't doing no weird shit. So, you said what?
Not if they Mexican.
Because of the I don't know why. Why you know what? Anyway, so on top,
I'm gonna take that to heart. No, thank you.
On top of that, I think that 13 and 12 around that age is good too, because that's when a lot of kids start to experience the changes in their body and they start having questions. And if they get exposed to the wrong answers early, or answer that doesn't sit right with how we were thought to raise the kids, then you'll get undesired results. So rather than be ill-equipped to deal with whatever situation, we should equip them early enough that they can understand it, or at least break them in, introducing them to the idea of certain topics so that they won't go in getting information off of social media, especially now, because it's go ahead.
But no, I'll let you finish, but I just think that, they should have like little dates where both parents are there, I would say. So to make sure that, everything is good, you can meet the parents, and you never know, shoot, that might be your child's soulmate, and they met their soulmate at 12. Because it happens.
They don't need to be worried about that shit. You can call them motherfuckers play dates.
Play
dates.
Look, I'm just saying, but Must Love Chubbs.
Hopefully. A lot of high school relationships don't be working out.
Hold on. Must Love Chubbs says, for me, dating 15, sex 18. Must Love Chubbs also said, LOL, no, for the Migos, I loved them and lived around them for 10 years. They definitely matched their kids a bit younger. She know who her husband is by 16. Thank you. And no offense, but their family units are strong. Yes. Thank you, baby girl. But I think that I'm gonna say 12 for the sex talk, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Y'all know I went to private school, and 7th grade, they gave us the books. We had sex ed, and we learned about our bodies. I learned more about periods, and I had literally just started my period. So that was actually really good for me. I learned about men, I even learned that one of my classmates was not a virgin. So yeah, we were in like 8th. Well, she was in 8th grade. Yeah. But yeah, yes, don't worry about it. Don't worry about who it is. Shut up. Anyway, so I think, the sex talk, yeah. Oh, you think much younger?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Not for having sex. Not for having sex. No, God, no.
But the sex talk.
No.
Lord Jesus. No, we're just having to talk, the introduction.
But no, I think that, teaching kids consent is actually, you know what? You're right, huh?
Be younger.
You're right. Because these kids do need to know about consent, because I wouldn't want, she said her blunt kicking in. It's okay, girl. It's okay. But I wouldn't want my child to think that, when it comes to molestation, Listen, you don't want your kid to think that what happened to them is right. So you do need to let them know that, hey, this, you don't want anybody touching your vagina, and you got to let them know the real words. Don't tell them cookie. Don't tell them Peter Whacker. Tell them penis and vagina. Please, y'all. Because when they go and they feel comfortable going to their teacher and telling them that somebody touched their cookie, they're going to think that they're touching a cookie, an actual food item, and not, their private area. So that is something that a lot of people need to work on is, giving the kids, I wouldn't say at that age sex talk, but at least tell them what, a bad touch. Yes, and the boys too. That's why I said Peter Whacker. Yes, Night B. That's why I said Peter Whacker.
I said the penis, but she said just the vagina. I said the penis.
Yeah, Peter Whacker. Penis. Okay, penis and vagina. Yes, they need to know the words. They need to know that a woman or a man should not touch their penis or vagina.
I want to go beyond that. I think that since we talked about consent, I think that we should start with consent all the way around, where we're talking about okay to say no or yes, and not just sexually, and understand that it's okay if it could be as innocent as somebody wanting to play with them and they say they don't want to play with them and not taking it personally. It just being, hey, they don't want to play with me. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't feel funny about them not wanting to play me. I shouldn't feel embarrassed or anything like that. A lot of kids have that. I was dealing with some of that today with kids, not wanting to be around each other, but one wanted to be around the other person. They didn't want to be around another person. They want to be around anybody. She just wanted to be by her damn self. She just wanted her by. That's it. That's all. And sometimes kids, as a whole, need to learn from their parents about consent as far as just everything. That's once they have a foundation of consent, the sexual and everything else will come. It makes so much sense. It won't be a different topic. It won't even be, this doesn't make any sense anymore now that you add sex. No, it's the same thing. Same
thing. Yes, that's true. And so, Must Love Chubb says, yes, I don't make my daughter share with strangers. I didn't bring her toys out for nothing. The fuck. Yeah. Jasmine Simpkins says, kids know about sex younger now because of the internet. And Must Love Chubbs 28 says, agreed.
I agree, and which is all the more reason why we need to teach consent. So when we're learning about those things, and you're exposing them to those things, whether you wanted them to or not, because now we're in emergency mode. You had a plan, the plan failed. Okay, what's the most important lesson I need them to learn at this age, since they already know about shit they shouldn't know about? They can't unknow about it. It's too late. You know about racism? Shit. Okay, we gotta teach racism. We gotta teach people what's the word? Not equality, because that's not the word. Tolerance. I think more tolerance.
Tolerance.
Yeah, we gotta teach tolerance. We have to teach. Yeah, we have to teach understanding. Once they get it, even if we gotta do things out of order, we have to teach it now because they got exposed to it early. I totally agree.
Yes.
What about you? I don't have any kids though, so.
Oh.
And that's why, honestly, I would say a lot younger. Oh. I will start teaching my kids around 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Honestly, as soon as they get old enough to where they're walking around, they're going to sleepovers and stuff like that, they need to know. I think some of our problem as a society is we keep putting this age to thing and no, we are let me get my words straight. We are animals at the end of the day. Something like sex is a natural thing. It's going to happen naturally. You can't put an age limit on something natural. The minute they grow up, they're walking on their own, boy or girl, those feelings will start to come natural when they realize that they have something, that men have something that the women don't. And if it's not taught, like Queen was saying, that leaves a whole world for someone to hop in there and coerce them into doing something. Thank you. Yeah, I can't get these words right. Into doing something, and then you have such a bigger issue.
Yep.
It goes way bigger than it, and it's up to us as parents and I don't have kids of my own right now, but I have years and years of knowledge because I've been a stepdad with girls and with boys from young to old. So you can consider me a parent pretty much. I got the experience. So yeah, it's a conversation you definitely want to have up early in front.
Same. I'm the oldest of 6, so I've had my fair share and been godparents and everything else. So and as well as a teacher.
So Jasmine Simpkins says, I have 5-year-old clients that look up sex at school on their computers. And Must Love Chubbs says it starts as young as 5, and children even start exploring their own bodies and even masturbating as young as 5. They feel early this that they were you trying to say that, huh? That they should be taught early what is they are feeling and how to go about it appropriately. I actually learned that in early childhood education. They do that stuff very early.
Yep.
Very. So that's why you gotta teach them. Yes, thank you, honey.
Education, especially outside of like the influence of like people's religions and shit like that, should be mandatory. Because there's gonna be a lot of those parents that are too shook to teach kids and think they're going to teach them how to do it. When real talk, if you don't teach your kids, they're either more susceptible to grooming, they're more susceptible to just experimenting and being curious and having sex on their own, and they're more susceptible to learning through porn and then, not necessarily understanding consent and understanding putting other people's pleasure, not necessarily before yours, but on an equal playing field to yours, and not just prioritizing your own or expecting that you just have to endure shit that's painful. And it's very, especially with them outlawing, we'll talk about it more, abortion, there's other things that could disappear too, like our right to contraceptives. And it's important that we teach kids the dangers of sex and also just the importance of your own body autonomy and honoring your body, and also only dealing with people in the future who respect them and don't try and fucking force or manipulate them into shit. And that's another thing too with dating. Chaperone for me would be 13, 14, and then on their own, maybe 15, 16, 17. Yeah. But it's so important to also let your kids know not just the sex conversation and the possibility of pregnancy and using condoms and diseases and stuff like that, and rape and everything like that, but also beyond just partners who are potentially just trying to get their chance to have sex with you, there's also those who will say they love you and abuse you. And then there's also those who will, you think you can trust, and you send them pictures because you're so in love, and then they try and hold that over your head in case to keep you from breaking up with them or to make you do things that you don't want to do. And it's so important, especially with the sex education talks, to not do it in a judgmental way or like you're trying to catch them way, like that they have dirty little thoughts, but from a way that you're like, listen, I want when you're grown enough to actually like go to college, if you want to do that, then be free to do that, but you have to, I want you to have the sense to be safe, do it with people who respect you, and to do it with people that are going to actually give a fuck about you and not just use you to, like a cum sock or some shit like that. And of course you don't phrase them that way, but whatever age you start these conversations, you make it relatable to them in that age. And if you don't think you can do it, look up resources or, fight for fucking sex education not to be defunded from school. So right now the Texas GOP is saying that not only should critical race theory be prohibited from schools, but sex education in public schools should be criminalized.
Well, let's talk. We have a parent here. Kitty, give us your opinion, man.
Yeah.
I definitely want to hear this.
Yeah, that's topic. Yeah. But I think I'll sit down and have a talk with my son at age 12. Maybe 13 at earliest. And if it's up to him, he wants to get some cheeks, I'll talk about it. He could come talk to me about steps on getting cheeks, whatever case might be, I'm not gonna force it on him to to learn these things, it's gonna come natural. So if he having, feelings or whatever the case might be at his young age, because I don't know what the fuck wrong with kids nowadays. But anyway, if he have something some early feelings and drive and shit at young age, he can come and let me know. But what the fuck? Like these kids doing things so early, man.
Yeah.
That shit.
I mean, you're not that different from us. They just can share it on the internet.
Like the fuck?
We didn't have the internet.
You got kids who having kids.
I had the internet.
We didn't have the internet at age 12.
I did.
Exactly.
Oh,
But most of us did.
Yeah.
And most of us had
I had it at 10.
Yeah, I did. My computer was
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but I definitely had the internet.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I still did. Especially not up to a certain point.
And my own
The only
laptop.
difference is these kids are growing up, knowing how to do all this shit and film themselves, and they're used to it. It's normal to them. But if you had the same technology back then, because think about it, kids today are actually having sex less. It's just more kids are able to film themselves doing shit. So that's the big fucking difference. But kids today have some level of sex education. They know about disease. They know about pregnancy. Like, especially if you're fucking aware of like laws being changed and shit like that. You're especially like, oh shit, I can't get caught fucking lacking. But they want kids to be more ignorant again, which is why they want to take away sex education and condoms and the right to abort and shit like that. So you're gonna see shit go crazy again. But I think like legitimately, less kids are having sex. It's just a matter of everyone's got a camera and everyone knows how to use that shit from the time they're like 2. So that's the big difference.
On just real quick, I won't be long. But I also want to add, this is very important. Whether you're a parent, uncle, guardian, whatever the case may be, and your role is to teach kids or introduce these topics to kids, the best thing that you can do for any kid of any age, but especially early on, early education people, whether you're religious or not, especially you religious people, because you know who you are. When you really, really religious and y'all really, really fucking, I ain't gonna say hypocritical, but y'all really judgmental about certain things, you gotta make sure that you create an environment for the child to be able to come to you naturally, like what Kenny said, at an early age with not a false sense of security. If they did something wrong, it shouldn't just be met with just a consequence or whatever if they didn't know. If they came to you and they felt comfortable enough about telling you about how they felt about somebody, it shouldn't just be dismissed. Man, you're too early to worry about that. Obviously, we're beyond that now. They beyond that. The idea, like Glenn said, the animalistic traits that we have to want to do whatever or understand what's going on about ourselves comes out. And this the way us teaching it is a system we put in place to help control that animalistic behavior, quote unquote, not going too off the path. But the point is that trust is so important at a young age, because that will determine whether somebody gets pregnant or you don't find out, that they were sexually molested, or they won't find out, or you won't find out whether they did something or not, or you won't find out that they had an STD, or you won't find out that they got something from somebody else, or you won't find out that somebody else did something to somebody else because they don't trust you to talk about it. Creating that level of trust is really important, and you guys need to make sure, guardians, parents, Christians, I called them out, shit. I didn't mean to say Christians, but Christians.
I was gonna call them
Muslims too.
Christians the biggest ones.
People be so fast.
They're the biggest.
Biggest ones.
Oh no!
I'm not having a bigot war. I'm not having a war on who's the most fucking toxic.
It's no. That's more of a cultural thing. Yeah. Never mind. You're right.
Christians are the biggest ones.
But nah, you're right. I will let you.
And some of them sometimes are hypocrites.
Oh yeah.
Well, especially if your religion is one about, hey, nigga, you will go to hell for the sins that you think you hide and shit, but God sees all. So if you think you're the person in place responsible for them under God's eye, you're trying to catch your children. But what you don't realize is, the more you're out here trying to catch your children doing shit because you know how you used to be, the more your kids are going to just try and learn how to navigate around you and hide shit. And so if they fucking get caught up in some news scandal, they're not gonna come to you, and they're gonna be afraid to come to you. If they get caught up and they got someone pregnant, or they're out here fucking and shit, like they're not doing shit in a sensible way, because everything they're doing is just to make sure that it's hidden from you. And also, they're more willing to take more risks because they're already out here not like trying to get over anything. So if you have a fucking free zone where your kids can talk to you about this shit, and you can actually like shut down shit in a way like without fucking freaking out on them. If you can like control yourself as a parent, realize it's your job to make sure that they trust you, not their job to make sure that you trust them. So you're gonna have a great relationship with kids.
Oh, sorry. So I wanna say something, like, cause I used to run a whole nanny business like years ago, and one day the little boy came to me and was like, "I had sex today," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "I had sex at recess today," and I'm like, "What did you do?" Like, I didn't like get mad or anything. I just was like, what exactly did you do? And he said the girl like pushed him up on the tree and kissed him. And I was like, "Oh, sweetheart, that's not sex." Like, I didn't tell him what sex was, but you know, I let him know that, no, she just kissed you, babe. She kissed you, that's it. Because he was like, he thought he got the girl pregnant. I was like, "Child, like."
That's where he learned that from. You learned that from parents who were trying to convince them not to kiss nobody.
Congratulations, baby. But you know, like, I still remember that little man. Sorry.
Parents though. Someone taught him that shit so that he wouldn't be out here kissing people. That's why he'd be afraid to kiss someone. And they thought that would be what would keep him from getting someone pregnant.
Yeah. It was cute. Who disappeared?
That was Glenn. But yeah, on that note, yeah, because I hadn't heard some wild stuff. From my profession, you know, I have to kind of keep it incognito, so to speak. But I hadn't had people come up pregnant from misinformation or not communicating. And I used to see the stuff back in, I used to see it back at High Point, actually, when I was in high school. To be fair, it happened so often that they just built a whole daycare in the center of the damn school. I was like, "Yo, what?" And you know, and of course, most of them, yeah, if not all of them, were definitely Hispanic of some form. And so it's really interesting, but it just was. I had never. I had went to Blade. I had been to y'all. Y'all don't know about y'all. And I'd been to High Point. And High Point was the only one that had a daycare in it because of the birth rate, or the high birth rate of, I guess, let's just say students. I'm not even going to say Hispanic students, but just students in general. And
think about it. How many Hispanics are raised Catholic? And Catholics don't believe in condoms. They don't believe in contraceptives. So that's the result. When they're so trying to put like, "Oh, we're going to take away anything that's going to make them think they can get away with having sex," you end up having the situation you're trying to stop.
Yeah.
And I guess you know that's probably why they don't want to talk about it in the schools, about contraceptives and everything else, because it goes against what Catholics believe and stuff.
But I remember, okay, so King of the Hill, like, I don't know if any of y'all watched that show, but there was an episode, like, in the first season where Peggy had to become a sex ed teacher, but they filled out, like, permission slips. If people, anyway, so I think that if we are going to be doing sex ed, for those parents that don't feel that their kids need to do it, like, just don't sign permission slip.
I mean, that's what they do. But it's the kids that get fucked up from them not knowing. Because
and you know what? That's their parents' fault. That's their parents' fault. But you know what? Like, I think I was like maybe 15 when my mom sat me down and showed me pictures of diseased vaginas and penises, okay? And was like, "Don't have sex." because this can happen to you. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't thinking about having
That's just
sex.
to get out of people's bedrooms and dungeons.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like, I just was like, I wasn't even thinking. I was supposed to be a virgin until I was married, but things happened. A fuckery happened. Okay, fuckery. But yes, I was like, I'm not even thinking about it. Like that's the furthest thing from my fucking mind. I'm thinking about what makeup I'm gonna buy from Family Dollar. Like that's
It's
what my mind says at
being
15.
being a teacher, or dealing with kids for the last 6 years has really taught me how fast these motherfuckers learn. They learn, and they're not dumb. Okay, the things that you don't want them to know, that you don't want them to look up, it's so easy now for them to not even type the shit. So mind you, these are kids who don't even know how to type words that can literally hit a button on Google that says, what is a blank? What is this? What is that? They're going to find the fuck out. So you have a choice.
Yeah.
You going to treat them like a fucking caveman, a cave woman in the 21st fucking century, or you're going to actually man and woman the fuck up, or whatever whatever you affiliate with, and actually teach them about the shit. And that's also making sure that, one, teaching them that it's okay so they can trust you to do whatever, and two, tolerance. Because part of that conversation is sexual preference tolerance for all kinds of genders and everything else. Teaching them that shit too.
Diseased.
And, oh boy.
It was herpes. It was gonorrhea, girl. Like, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it didn't really scare me or anything. I just was like, I didn't really care about it.
It was like it sounded like she went to the DARE program. Or the DARE program?
A little bit. A little bit.
Because that shit scared the shit out of me. I wasn't smoking after looking at the motherfuckers with tobacco. Where they showed the yuck mouth teeth. The motherfucker. And the gums was all fucked up from chewing tobacco and shit. I said, shit, not me. Not me. Not my black ass.
But hold on, y'all. Let's talk about the overturning of Roe versus Wade real quick before we go to commercial break, because we're so okay, if you guys don't know, Jess is like, look, girl, I know it was bad. So today they overturned Roe versus Wade, which has been in place for 50 years. We knew this day was coming, y'all. We knew it. But this is a sad day for women's reproductive rights, because and I fear for my children, my future children. I ain't got no kids. My future kids, because like, what if they have like a pregnancy where like they won't survive? So you telling me that my child is going to have to decide whether or not she's going to give birth to a child or she going to die, when she can easily just get an abortion and then try again, you know? And technically, I'm going to be honest, I take medicine that they actually give to you when you get an abortion. I take that medicine every week. And you know, it scares me a little bit, because I know they're going to be like, oh, birth control is next. I already know it is. It's next. And same-sex marriage, that's next.
Shit. Even being gay
consent.
too.
I think consent's next too.
Even
you said consent.
Clarence Thomas called it sodomy. So we're on some real authoritarian fascist USA time.
Mm-hmm. We are, and it's getting ridiculous, like, because I don't feel that men, especially old white men and an old black man, should be in control of my body. Like, what if I am going to have to choose whether or not I birth my child or I die? I want to live, okay? I want to live to try again. I'm sorry. Abort. Yeet of the fetus, okay? And not trying to be funny. I'm just, yeetus of the fucking fetus, okay? I have things I want to do until I'm old, probably like 84, probably 90, because my people live to be like 100 and something. But I just, you said Yeetus of the fetus. Yes, Yeetus of the fetus must love chubs. But like, seriously, like, I don't want men that would actually pay for an abortion for their secretaries because they done fucked them and got them pregnant to be choosing whether or not I can't get an abortion.
Well, no, it's not even just that. It's
birth control. I need birth control.
It's those
in
fucking
order
religious
to,
people. I believe it's those religious people and right-wing people. Like you said, the Catholics.
Hold on 1 second. Night B. We talk about something, but at the same time, men have no reproductive rights.
Is it true?
No.
We do have reproductive rights?
Yeah.
What right do we have?
Y'all had the right to say zoo. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no.
for real.
I mean, for real, no. I just want to know.
Okay,
They have the right to, like, think about it. There are rapists who have still parental rights to their children that they conceived at a rape.
Yeah, and
so
that's not fair.
in their victims' lives, just fucking with them, talking about, oh, I want my kid to come stay with me. No one, even though the courts know this nigga's a whole fucking rapist. So, like, men have plenty of fucking reproductive rights, and especially to the fact where we can fucking take away women's reproductive rights. Ain't nobody saying men can't get no Viagra or Cialis. Ain't nobody saying that men should get snipped if they claim at a certain age that they don't want fucking kids and stuff like that. But yet, there are women who are being fucking sterilized. There are women who are being denied the right to fucking abortion. There are women who are being, like, could potentially be denied the right to fucking contraceptives. And there's women who are being denied access to sports because they were assigned male at birth and shit like that. So, yeah, men have a lot more rights than women do.
Must love Chubb said, come on with it, Tryst.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And also, they don't get questioned when they get vasectomies, but women have to be a certain age in order.
Nightby said that's deflection.
Tube side, okay.
What's the deflection? What's the deflection, sir?
He's a man. He just that's actually a reproductive right. Got anything else, sir?
You telling me? I'm reading the comments.
No, not you. I'm talking to Night B.
I'm talking about the comments. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's not me. That's not me, y'all. for those on Twitch, that's a comment on YouTube. Don't burn me.
Yeah, don't worry about that one. Yeah. I just wish that they didn't do this. And now they're saying that they're afraid that yes, he does.
Do we? Please speak on it. Speak on it.
They can, just like a woman can sign off her parental rights, a man can too.
Does that include child support?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Think about how many men don't do it but want to complain.
Anything.
Yeah, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
She put us on game.
Yeah, so many men are complaining for no reason.
What are you talking about? You can sign your parental rights away.
Yeah. Listen, these niggas ain't lawyers. They don't know what they're talking about.
Okay, I'm asking from somebody who. Okay, so I am the guy who does not have kids, who's never been put in a situation. So as far as I know, it's always been, hey, you don't have to see the kid, but you gotta pay child support on the kid. You gotta pay child support. You gotta pay child support. You gotta pay child support.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
If they take you to court, for child support,
no, that's not how it works. If you're gonna take a man to court for child support, he have all rights to see his kid. If he don't want to have rights don't want to have rights at all with the kid, he give us rights and he don't get child support. But if a female wants child support from the man, he have to have rights to see the child. But you're forcing the man to be something that he don't want to. If a man want to be there for a kid, don't put him on child support. Some men fuck up, some men don't fuck up.
And I can understand exactly what you're saying. You're saying, hey, look, if he's there, he's financially already, he doesn't need to be on child support. But for
He
these
doesn't.
low down, dirty ass dogs that run off, yes, put them on child support, y'all.
So there you
Exactly.
go.
What if this nigga is very like, oh, every now and then I'll help. Like very like, oh, when I'm here, I'm here. Then put that nigga on child. Stop.
Yeah, child
With that
support.
motherfucking.
Nightbee said,
Yeah, don't play with your kid's time like that.
And you also got to understand that women who have kids with men, they put fathers at second class. We're not second class. We have the same equal rights, the same responsibilities that we want to be for our kid as y'all. Just because the kid came out of you doesn't mean you do all the decision and everything without the man even playing a part.
So Nightbee said,
hold on.
Are you gonna read all?
Hold on, Kenny.
Yep.
Does his mom pay you child support?
No.
Thank you.
I don't want her to pay child support. If she want to be there as a mother, she don't need to be on child support to be a mother. She gonna be a mother on her own. She don't. That's her fuck up. That's her responsibility. That's her fuck up. That's her loss.
So
thank you.
Nightbee said he will still be.
We gonna have to go on.
Oh, we're out of time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go to our commercial break, y'all, and we'll get back to the comments as well, y'all. All right.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today.
So,
My phone.
A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
hold on, let me read the comments first.
Okay.
Oops. Okay, so let's get through these comments real quick, and then we'll go to our next topic. So Nightbee says child support isn't a right for men because you have to first make it for fathers are equal parents to mothers. He also says in the Black community, 18% of the men make 80% of the children. The vast majority of men aren't knocking up women. Okay. He's also saying that's him, basically saying the Ken Egan not doing child support, whatever. That's him. Most judges won't make the mother pay, and in most cases, the judge will be biased in favor of the mother. And Must Love Chubb says, yes, I have always held the door open for her dad. No child support, no nagging. I try to let him be there. At the same time, if a mother did that, she'd get way more backlash than a man would. That is true. All right. Next.
Well, for our next topic with Biden and gas prices and inflation, in breaking news, the economy's still shit, y'all. At least for us. Because actually, the past 2 years has been some of the best times ever for the rich. Like, their material wealth has risen greater in the pandemic than it has in the past 14 years. The top 10 richest men have doubled their fortunes. And oil companies, for example, at the same time that like gas is the highest it's ever been at like $5 a gallon for regular, and like $8 or $9 in certain states like California. The big five, like top five oil companies, including like Chevron, Shell, BP, and ExxonMobil, they've gotten a record $35 billion they just reported, which is their second greatest cash haul ever. And yet, they aren't reinvesting that money. In fact, like Biden opened up drilling public land on some Trump shit, some of the public land for drilling, and oil companies are still refusing to open up refineries that closed during the pandemic because they would rather let those revenue streams go and have the company make less profit, even though they made record profits, so that they get a higher valuation, especially after they buy back their stock. And that gives the shareholders more money. So they're willing to say, fuck hiring more workers, fuck any like type of infrastructure that we're going to like bring back or fix or anything like that. Fuck even making this company even more profits than we already did while people are desperate. We're going to just do what? So you have a bunch of companies that price out. It's not just oil companies. Like right now, groceries are up 12%. Meat is up like 50%. And like meat packing companies, their profits are like 300%. So there's a lot of price gouging going on. And Biden, what is he doing? He's actually telling the Fed chairman to raise interest rates, the highest that they've ever been in 30 years. And that could like throw millions of people out of work into unemployment. And Larry Summers, the former Treasury Secretary, he actually said, you know what, we might need 5 years of unemployment at 5% or a year of unemployment at 10%, which is as many people who were out of work during the Great Recession over a decade ago. So the best they have for us is make niggas go out of work so they can spend less, and we won't have, like, we can shut the economy down, slow it down that way, stop inflation. And for gas, we'll give you a gas tax holiday. So get rid of that, like, 18 cents, like, sales tax for a little bit. Even though, like, for people who drive large SUVs, that's only going to save them, like, $4.50 a week. And I want to know what y'all think Biden should do, because I got all kinds of plans that we should be following, but I want to see what y'all think we should be getting into.
Hold up, first, Glenn, put it down. Whatever that is that you have in your hand, put it down. What is that?
My earphone case.
Oh my God. I was like, what is he doing? Okay, so.
He's bringing back the toys.
Because it was doing things. All I could see was you playing with the thing. And I was like, okay, but
he said I hit this bitch with this.
Yeah, I will. Say no. So first off, I think it's really unfair that we have to like take on like the inflation of food, gas, and oil. It ain't. And then you stop people from working from home. So now you're like forcing people to go out, spend their money on gas. And now, like I said, like back in season 1, people are going to be like choosing whether or not to go to work or pay a bill. That's what they're going to be doing. And here, I believe, like, I think the highest is like $6.59 or some shit, or $5.59. What did you see when you and your mom went out, babe? Yeah. And I think that's fucking ridiculous when I go to the store to get like groceries and stuff like that, because I have to make my dog's food. I buy ground turkey and that shit is expensive. Like I got kind of lucky, like, what was it, a week and a half ago, when Good Food Markets was closing up here. So they had everything like 75% off. So I got like a whole bunch of stuff for like cheap. But if I had gone, like, I looked at how much like savings, how much I actually saved. And I believe like I didn't have much, but like I saved like $70, $80. So basically, I would have really spent like $100 there, 100 and some dollars, and that's ridiculous just for a few items. That, like, why do we have to do that? I've seen videos of people saying that, oh, we're raising these prices because the feed has gone up, and I feel bad for them because I understand, because you have to make a profit. And I get it. But now it's going to be like, well, I wonder why people are fighting in the Walmarts and the grocery stores, and why things are just going to sit. No. I'm talking about like farmers. Mm-hmm. Farmers have said that. Now, the reason I think that the gas and oil prices have gone up is because we're using Russian gasoline. Am I right on that one? I think.
Well, he's blaming on the Putin
Oil.
price hike, and Russia is like the third biggest supplier of oil. But
So
don't forget all the oil that we don't use. Like we have oil refineries already that they won't reopen because they're like, oh, there's electric cars, so it might not make us as much money to reopen them. So we have the oil. We're just not doing it because stock buyback. Their own shareholders getting their money.
I feel like, oh. Mm-hmm.
Well, sanctions.
The war in Ukraine. Mm-hmm.
North Dakota? Oh. Keystone. You talking about the Keystone pipeline?
Fucking name. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Senegal. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of politicians have a lot of stock in gasoline and in these food
and
products and oils and all that stuff. They have stocks and all that stuff in there. They're invested in it. So of course they're not going to be trying to fight and be like, oh, well, let's not let it be price gouged. Like, no, they're going to be like, shit. Bread.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say not just stocks, but they also have lobbyists from these companies come to them. Like right now, we like at the same time NBC is telling people to stop complaining because you can only feed your kids 2 meals a day instead of 3. At the same time that they're literally saying that, like, Congress just let this the $11 billion in funding for free school lunch. They're letting that expire at the end of June, and at the same time, they're adding extra money to the military budget. So the military budget currently is like $813 billion. They're adding an additional $45 billion to that because there's no lobbyists for giving you your kids free lunch, but there are lobbyists for military contractors and military industrial complex and for the energy companies that supply fuel for that shit.
Yeah. Let's hear from Glenn or Kenny. I don't know which one of y'all want to go first. Go ahead, Kenny. Because I think his phone glitched.
All this don't really. I'm not really concerned about it. I remember coming from the photo shoot and I didn't know how to pump my own gas at the time, and I pumped my gas. Yeah, up here we don't pump our gas. In New Jersey is not weird. We don't pump our gas. New Jersey bougie. They dig people pump. How that's weird.
They pump it for you.
New York too. People pump people gas in New York. And PA, some parts of PA.
I see people pumping their own gas in New York.
But what does that have to do with the fact that you're going to have to pay more money, though?
Huh?
What does that have to do with the fact that you're going to be paying more money for that gas?
I mean, just don't really bother me. No, I'm just saying. I was saying when I was coming from the photo shoot, and me getting not even half tank, and it charged me almost $60-something. They would have, yeah. And I was like, what the fuck?
Half a tank.
Yeah.
What type of fucking Decepticon are you driving, nigga? The fuck?
Yeah.
There's a tank that he don't care.
That
He
car
said
was
it's all good.
little.
He's balling.
Seriously.
He don't care about
I literally
That
said,
car
what the
was little.
fuck? And then, literally, I said, what the fuck? And the guy was like, oh, where you from? He looked at me, I said, oh, you from New Jersey? Yeah, no wonder. I was like, what the
What does that mean? How much are you paying for your... All right. What gas are you getting? Nah, I need to know. I need to know. What gas are you getting, bro?
What gas I'm getting? I don't think I got regular that. I didn't get regular that day. I got something else.
This motherfucker getting Formula One gas.
But that shit made us last. We got all the way back for that. We got almost to New Jersey.
New Jersey ain't that fucking far.
Yeah, it's like an 8 hours drive straight.
What are you talking about?
We left you like around 3 something. We got there around like 8 something, 9 o'clock.
New Jersey? New Jersey's like 2 hours away from us.
It was late. Yeah, ask Tristan. We got there like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
What the fuck type of...
In New Jersey.
What was y'all
It was
doing?
like a 5-6 hour drive.
5-6 hour drive?
Yeah, not those 5-6 hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Much Love Tub said you ain't take the right route.
No, what the fuck you did?
No, because
I didn't drive back.
on average, so I feel it because on average, my brother used to fill up his car off of. I think it used to cost him about $50, maybe 50, maybe 40 to fill up his flex. He drives a truck, and now to fill up his car, it's about $71 to fill it up. And it's only, I can tell you, it's only like 13 gallons, maybe 14, 15. Like he not driving no 20-gallon car or anything like that. So it's really wild. It's really, really wild to me how this is affecting us. And if Biden doesn't do anything, he's going to see that only thing that is surviving is the oil company, and everything that we use the oil company for or get gas company for won't be thriving, because I've already sworn off of what is it called, food services. Delivery food services.
Oh, DoorDash.
I don't use them at all anymore.
Yeah, I haven't been
I'm
to
at a point
DoorDash in a
now.
while.
If I can't walk to it or catch a ride to it, I'm just not gonna have it.
Yeah.
If I can't get off go to it on the metro or wherever, it's just not gonna happen. I'm not paying double the price for something that costs $7 only for it to end up being fucking 14,
Cold.
16.
Oh my
21.
god! I thought I was the only one that was
wrong. Cold, wrong, and not what the fuck I ordered.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I got Pedii some ice cream. Ice cream I got her one fucking pint of ice cream. The ice cream cost $7. The whole fucking thing was like $16, $17. I'm like, what the fuck? I should have just sent this shit to her my phone.
You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that.
Went there my goddamn self. It was for you to know.
And got no
point. It was just a point. Like, and they'll claim that, oh, the price is going up because the price of gas is going up. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But now I'm not using these services anymore.
Oh yeah.
It's so unfavorable.
Oh.
They actually charge for another meal.
Glenn, hold on. Let's let Glenn have a chance to talk.
I mean, it can miss me because I see what's going on. No, he's not going to do nothing about it. It's a bigger thing. There's a bigger picture going on. The middle class is being getting rid of. They're taking a middle class out. What you're going to have is you're going to have a high society, and you're going to have a low society. People on the bottom that are running from scraps. That's everything that we've been talking about, the education and everything. So if you want to be lazy and sit there in front of 7-Eleven, that's what your life is going to be.
But you already said.
This again. Listen, at the end of the day, if people are going to be priced out of shit, it's why we need to come. Look, in other countries, they literally did a fucking largest railway strike of 400 railway workers. And now in London and a bunch of other European cities, they have fucking free public transportation. They're also hit with the Putin price hike, but they're not suffering the way we are because our government is literally bought out by all these motherfucking corporations.
I mean, because some of that
Biden's federal
electric cars.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually going to get there.
But that's another thing too. We need to get off of oil. Like, think about it. We are so stuck on oil, and we aren't ever transitioning.
Yeah.
We're going to be like this until the very last fucking drop is gone.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's going to be a high class and a low class, especially while they're taking away rights from women, from LGBT people, from black people, from other minorities. Like, it's going to get bad. Yeah. And we need to band together because, like I said, Biden wants people thrown out of their fucking jobs and shit like that. They want people to be desperate enough to accept whatever fucking kind of job just to fucking survive. And look at abortion. Nancy Pelosi's putting out fundraisers off this shit. They're not doing anything to actually take care of people. So if Biden was serious, what were we gonna say? I was gonna say if Biden was serious, he would fucking not just like tax them. He would fucking investigate these fucking companies and fucking start jailing these niggas if they find out they're doing price gouging. You price gouge like you fucking jail like 5-10 executives. I bet you all this inflation should stop because 60% of inflation is just price gouging.
We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, you're right. Because those are the people that are writing their checks.
It's bigger than that. It's whole big. Like, it's nothing to fight at this point. What I'm telling people is you can't fight it. At this point, you just need to do what you need to do to figure out what side of the fence you're going to be on.
Well, Ecuador is actually fighting in the streets right now about these damn gas prices. They are not playing games. They are doing what they need to do because they are like, look, you're not about to price gouge us. So, Ecuador.
For people,
either organize strikes or find a country that actually gives a fuck about a person
organized strikes.
and plan to move there.
Organized strikes.
But
organize strikes or find a country that gives a fuck about its people.
Yeah.
But Night B said the grid is not ready for full electric, like electric cars and stuff.
It's not. But
it's not. But we ain't never gonna be ready for full.
It won't be if we just switch our resources for fucking gas and actually do what Hillary said way back when and actually start the pipeline then, we wouldn't be talking about this shit as much now. It would be, oh shit, oh gas prices going up. Oh wait, we have affordable electric fucking cars.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think electric cars are going to actually get affordable. I think that's the point. Is you need to figure out what side of the fence you're going to be on. The world is turning to a point where it's not friendly. It's not a battle. It's not something you're going to fight. You're either going to do what you have to do for yourself to be amongst the wealthy, or you're going to be on the bottom scrounging for scraps. That's what it's going to be.
Most people aren't going to be wealthy.
$20. You're not going to find it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Since most people aren't going to be wealthy because capitalism doesn't work that way.
No, I'm about to say.
Fucking collectively come together or individually be like, America is a shit country. I'm getting out of this shithole country. How long will it take for me to save so I can find a good country to be out of this shithole country?
When the system doesn't work,
or
hold on,
figure out where the fuck you can escape from.
When the system doesn't work, that's when we have things like the fucking riots and the raids that happened in 2020. When the system is when you get to the point, right, where it's talking, where our government officials sound like you, Glenn, which they really can't afford to, because
they're already doing it.
No. They're remember.
They're sounding like him, but in nicer words.
They're not. Yeah, I say they're not actually.
It's when they start talking with the same language that people are gonna come at them.
What I mean is that, like I gotta tell people, in 2008, some white man got on TV back or 2009, whatever, back when I was back in graduation year, and said, "Hey, this is the nation's capital. This is a fucking slum. This, that, and the other. We're gonna change all this shit. We're gonna change all this shit. It's gonna be for the better." He was really declaring war on, hey, you motherfuckers that live here, y'all getting put the fuck out because we about to move all these white folks in here and gentrify the shit out of it so it can represent what our country's supposed to look like. We didn't see the sign, but the battle raged on nevertheless, and he declared war on people of poverty or people in the suburb, or not suburbs, in the projects and everything. Just from that one statement. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take a break real quick because we have to get to the next topic. We do.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
So our next topic will be, what do you normally side with, your brain or your heart? The reason why I have picked this topic because I have a friend of mine, I'm not gonna say the name, I won't put that person on blast, but came to me and I already know the situation, what that person going through, I keep saying that person, what that person going through, and the person was saying that he got into a situation and he doesn't know what to do. Oh fuck, whatever. He doesn't know what to do. So I asked him like, okay, so what's the problem? You know, him and his girl going through some situation, and I already know how she rolls. So I'm looking from the outside in and telling him like, you know, think with your brain. But for some reason, his heart is clouding, blocking the way he think. So she's not good for him. You know, she a whole lot of fuckery shit that I don't understand. And everyone else sees it, but I'm gonna straight tell him for it. But the thing is with him, he's so much in love with her that he doesn't really understand that she's not good for him. So that's why I know to pick, because he's picking his heart over his brain. And that kind of like I noticed that when we was younger, we used to go to this day, probably some of us still going through that problem, that situation. So I just want to get you guys comment on that.
I'll say that when I was younger, I definitely like thought with my heart and not with my brain, and I ended up in a lot of shitty ass relationships. So, but now, I think with this brain, honey, I do not play games. If I see a red flag, I'm I'm like Speedy Gonzalez. I'm out of here, okay? Like I'm Ariba.
That's funny. People see red flags and they still avoid it. To this day, I'm like, what the fuck? You see red flags. Why are you avoiding the red flags? Oh, you know.
They're not thinking. Most people are like, okay, this girl is like real pretty, or this man's real fine, and, you know, or this person can do this for me. Or, you know, like, and sometimes we do get clouded by like things of, you know, trying to get people are greedy, okay?
I want to say,
I don't really think it's greedy. I think it's just something called the sunk cost fallacy, where basically because you've already invested so much time, effort, and energy, you feel like letting it go is a waste, and you don't realize how much you're wasting in that process.
And that
so,
can
like,
be true.
It's just one of those things that like it's easy to fall into because your mind wants to get something out of all the time you put in, not realizing you're only wasting more time.
Yeah, and like I was saying, that can be true as well. But I'm talking about like people who are showing red flags right in the beginning, like get fucked.
A red flag is a red flag. Like at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I know, but like I get what he's saying with, you know, investing your time, because that's where I was with Rampet's dad. I had invested so much time that I was like, I could fix him, even though he had red flag after red flag after red flag. But now I'm like, no, if I see a red flag, I gotta go.
I mean, but if we're talking about red flags at the beginning, right? And we see them and they keep and they decide to pursue that whatever relationship, there is still a scale being shown, which I'm going to talk about, which is, you know, the means, the ends justify the means. Sometimes it takes a longer time for people and the value of their self-worth to shift the scale. And that only happens with time. And how much are you willing to deal with, and how much are you not? Some people get caught in these relationships because they don't understand their own self-value, or they don't see it as a red flag until somebody points it out, because they grew up in toxic relationships, you know, sometimes, or situationships, what I could call them, and you know, and you just don't know. You don't know.
Well, not that, and also if you know your bad things too, and someone accepts them or seems like they're accepting them, it's almost like a deal with a deal. It's almost like a Faustian bargain, a contract, where you're like, okay, I see the darkness in them, but they see the darkness in me, and they still accept me, so I must accept them. Not realizing the type of situation doesn't clear itself up. You don't pour more dirt into some shit and think it's going to come clean.
All right, Glenn, my cancer brother.
Glenn, go ahead, if you want to elaborate.
Yeah, I was going to elaborate on that and say that because I've been in a situation where it's like, I stayed in this relationship because we accepted each other. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time, and don't get lost, it's not about the sex, but the first time we had sex, it was a very, very emotional encounter because of the conversation before. And, everything ended up crashing. And it's funny because when it crashed, even her mom, like looking back, they really downplayed me. Like, even her mom was like, "Oh, you need to make sure you get yourself together and you need to do this." Like all this stuff, they really downplayed me when the whole time I had my own place. I was straight. She was the one still living in her mom's house. You know what I'm saying? Because of what she went through and brought her down. And I'm looking at this situation and I'm just like, hold up. Like, I'm not driving all the way to Virginia, and it's not even something at all. I'm not driving a whole hour to Virginia to sleep on the floor with an air mattress with a grown woman. If I'm driving all the way to Virginia, woman, I'm trying to sleep in the bed with you. We're a couple. You know what I'm saying? Granted, if you living with your mom or not, and if that's the situation, that should have been a red flag for me immediately to be like, no, I'm going the other way. To have this woman later on tell me down the road, "Oh, well, yeah, that didn't have nothing to do with it." I had a lot to do with it. And the fact as a man that I was okay with that just because we were cool is a problem. Like, I should have immediately been like, nah, hell tell it. Because as soon as my car went down and I couldn't be the majority of the one driving no more, you was pretty much like straight up, "Well, I choose me. I'm sorry. It's done."
So do you listen to your heart or your head now?
Well, now definitely it's to my head. I'm gonna analyze situations a lot more now and be like, look, if I see red flags and it's not worth my time, then yeah, I'm not even taking. I'm not taking the
I want to say as a Cancer, by default, it's always been kind of my heart. It's always been my heart first and head second. But now it's a more of a balance. It's still the heart. So, because no matter what, no matter how you logically look at it, love it doesn't follow any kind of logic. You still have to take that leap of faith based off of what you believe. That's the heart part. That's the metal. But when we see flags and behavior patterns and stuff like that, we don't ignore them. That's where I'm at now. That's where I'm at. So, but at the same time, we have to break out of the cycle. Like Pedii said, I'm trying to fix people and accept, or I ain't gonna say fix people, because at the very least, if you're trying to fix somebody, the one thing I can say about that mentality is that you acknowledge that that's how they are. So you're not ignoring who they are or what they are. You're acknowledging, hey, this is a situation I don't like. I not want to get out of the situation. Maybe I can change the behavior around them based on how I act, so they can kind of learn how I am, so that they can work around that. But that doesn't always work. And we have to be not toxic, I guess, in a sense, because that's a toxic trait in itself, to believe that you could change, whether it's for the better or worse. To believe that you could change anybody, we gotta have to break out of that, and that goes back to the larger part.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of that also comes from the experiences you have, or actually, so when it comes to like a lot of the reasons why a lot of us start off with toxic relationships, is all based on like love makes sense, but it makes sense from a sense of pattern recognition. So the way we were raised, the relationships we have with our parents, that forms the way that we seek out love and we recognize love. And so that's what locks a lot of us into toxic relationships in the beginning, until we realize we can't fix. Definitely both trying to recognize and honor those, and by doing so, knowing not to put myself in situations that's going to dishonor my feelings, but also